Action. Yeah. A good interview about video games is a hard thing to find. You're not going to find it here.
Hi, my name is Dr. Brian Duggan. I'm a computer science lecturer in DIT. I teach mostly games programming subjects, so I teach game development to first year game designers, and I also teach a subject called game engines on the computer science degree. So today you're going to see a lot of the projects that the first year game design students have made, and I hope you enjoy them.
My name is Philip Elliott. I'm a first year student in DIT, and this my game I made this year was the hidden object game called Trick or Treat. It's about two kids, one challenging the other to collect objects in a game environment, and basically it is a kind of very basic game. It's the genre is aged towards like elderly people, but like I found it kind of like relatively easy to kind of like create the environment in which to like do it. It's a very simple project. I've done games in the past. I've done a Unity project which got me an award a year ago in IT Tele, but it was actually kind of interesting enough to do work with the Unity because it has the physics engine is so much. It's like basically everything's there for you. All you need to do is just code it in. I add raycasting for that as well, so I kind of added a few. This is a later version of the actual game. At the moment it's kind of like in its basic form. I added like screen shake. I added an ending to it, like so. Like if you fail it, the ghost of the house actually catches you, and you're never heard of again. It's a very dark game. But the music itself, I tried to create an atmospheric tone to it. So like the music will have, like kind of like a horror pitch to it. Like it creates tension throughout the game, and then like the very end, if you fail, there's like that sense of, oh god, I've failed again. But if you win, there's like a change in the tone of music, and it's like yes, I'm free, relief, get out of there. But yeah, so that's really it. I can't really talk too much more about the game. It's like it was a challenge to actually create the game from it's so basic. Trying to like juice it up and get it like working properly fine is like a very difficult thing to do. It was like trying to make polishing a turd, essentially. The idea itself was terrible.
There's been a lot of talk about your game in the international indie community. What can you talk about?
Alright, so my game is called Soul Hunt. I've been making it for the last 10 weeks alongside my friend Cal O'Brien, and the game was made in the Game Maker Studio engine, and I done all the mechanics of the game and Cal done all the art. It was a bit of a challenge, but I think the game has turned out really well. A lot of the game features randomized elements. The lasers and projectiles that are there to kind of defeat the player are all randomized, and the game is based off Jetpack Joyride. At the moment I've gotten quite a lot of feedback of the feel of the game, that it's quite heavy or maybe too easy or too hard, and I'm trying to adapt to it. I'll also be putting the game up on IndieDB to get more feedback on that on YouTube as well. The game doesn't feature multiple levels or anything like that. It's just stay as long as you can, high score kind of thing. You can collect souls as you're going along, and as you're collecting souls, this multiplies up your end high score, and your score will be counted, and whoever gets the highest score ever played, then they'll be featured on the menu.
What got you into the game?
Well, when I was younger, I used to always watch my brother play all PlayStation games, and I remember when I first got the internet, I remember typing up like how to make a game or something like that, because I just randomly one day, it was spur of the moment, and I came across a couple of things, and I just found out I really wanted to do it for the rest of my life, and that was about 5 years ago. So since then, I've been working upon it as a hobby, and now I'm doing it as a full-time course, and hopefully in the future, fully professional.
Space War was developed over 3 months with a team of 3 of us. I was the lead game designer and programmer, and I had an artist and a sound designer. The game is a remake of the original 1968 Space War, where 2 players go head to head, fight, trying to destroy each other while avoiding a black hole. So we changed it up by adding in new aesthetics. We added in a 2-player function as well. So, and we added in functions like hyperspace and boost. So if a player's going to shoot you, use hyperspace to go to another point in the map. And we also added in functions like the black hole change positions. In the original Space War, the black hole's in the center and you get like sucked in. This is where you kind of try to avoid it and shoot around. We used the engine game salad because it was just easy to use, and you just put in the artwork and it's a simple state machine where you just like, you don't have the proper program in it or anything. And yeah, we uploaded the game style, so available on the GameStar Arcade. Bam.
My name is Peter Largy, and this is my first game I've ever made. It's Asteroids. It's a reskin that I worked on with a friend of mine called Jack Hugan. I originally got into games when I was really young. I think I was about 6 or 7, and I started playing Halo, and since then it's been something that I've always gone back to, and it's really become a passion for me. I really enjoy playing games. This is my first game I've made, and it's one that I've really enjoyed making. Jack was involved with a lot of the mechanics that we're building and a lot of the art, and I worked on most of the audio, but we both were big into how we were going to make the game, the ideas we were coming up with, and the fact that we had to feature lock this after, I think it was 7 weeks, really hurt us, because we wanted to keep making more and more stuff because it was something that we were really passionate about at the time. All in all, I've really enjoyed my experience so far with games, and my aspiration for the future is to definitely be working in America on some games and making a lot of money, making all our dollar bills. That's what's up. For this project we used Game Salad, and it was our first time we were both using it. I'd say the engine itself is quite poor, but I mean, in the next few years we'll be moving on to Unity and bigger and better engines, so we can make way better things than this that you're seeing now. But for now, this has been the game that I've loved for now, and it'll be one that I'll look back on in a few years' time. Thank you very much.
I'm Dermot, and my game was Micro Machines. I did it with Pierce, doing game design with me. We made it with Construct, and it's taken us 3 months to make, along with everyone else who's after making their game. It's coming up to release now, so hopefully we can see what happens after that, and if we keep working on it, or if we leave it and move on to more projects, we have to wait and see for that.
Do you have any previous experience doing game development?
No previous experience doing game development. Like, I've always been really interested in playing games, but I've always been interested in playing games, but making games is always something I was interested in, but I never thought that I'd end up making games so quickly going into this course, and it's been interesting seeing the sort of games that everyone's after making and comparing it to my own, and trying to get it all, my head together between what I'm going to do in the future and how I've done with this.
So this is the game called Get Off My Lawn, which I did with my partner Cormac. I'm Gertz, by the way. We're studying game design in DIT, and we did a reskin of the original game Duck Hunt, which took us a quite long time to do. As you can see, the shotgun is still broken. Well, he fixed it yesterday, but there's a problem with the engine game cell. It's very poor and it's not suitable to use. And yeah, we basically changed some of the art. Instead of ducks, we have chickens, which I think is much better. And the shotgun is visible, as in the original you never could see the shotgun. And we have a dog as well, so that's kind of different.
What got you into games in the first time?
What?
Why do you start with games in the first time?
I wanted to do game design because I've been playing games for the past 10, 11 years. So I just thought to myself, it's time to start making games. I just only play them. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
My name is Joey.
My name is Nara.
So we did a reskinned version of Smash TV. It's called Smash ETV, which stands for Extraterrestrial Vision. The game is the theme of the game is basically your character is abducted by aliens and brought to an alien space station where you have to participate in a.
You have to shoot for your life, basically.
Yeah, it's like a reality TV show for aliens where you're just placed in the middle trying to survive.
Yeah, like a guinea pig.
Pretty much. So, how did you get into games, Anara?
So yeah, it's pretty much it's a huge backstory. Like since I was a little child, I love playing games, and a cousin of mine got me into game. It was like about a Pokemon in a Game Boy, and he let me play, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. And since then, I've been playing games for all my life, you know.
Yeah, like a similar story. Like I suppose that's funny that you said that your cousin showed you that, because I remember my first experience with a video game was with my older cousin who had like a PlayStation 1, and he would like we would play like I'd go over to his house and we'd play some games. But eventually then me and my brothers got PlayStations, and 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, go the whole way through with the PlayStation, and that's how I got into games.
You know, I begged for my father to buy me a Game Boy Color. Begged for life, and then he bought it, and it was his worst mistake because I wouldn't stop anymore.
Pokemon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's like, now with the game design course, we've gone from playing games to creating games. So mostly now we're using tools like Game Salad we used for this game, and now we're progressing on to other tools like Unity to create better games, more powerful games.
So our name for the game is Missile Command, and it was based off Atari's original Missile Command, and we pretty much had a job to reskin it. And it was a really old game, so we wanted to make it modernized. So we decided to add in kind of a few stuff like power-ups and everything to it, and add in a little more of that cheese, because everyone loves cheese.
It's kind of good because the first game was really simple, so we kind of could have gone anywhere with the design, with the kind of the missiles and the turrets. Kind of we have them on a floating platform, so it kind of gives the idea of a futuristic kind of setting, and just adding the sound. There's a lot of like kind of big explosions and deep bass. It gave the game a lot of depth and juice.
For the things we used Construct 2 for the main programming, and we used Photoshop for the 3D art, and Nathan is going to explain the audio.
A lot of the audio, kind of the songs anyway, we used royalty-free sites, but kind of most of the sound effects we do ourselves in kind of BFRX, I think, and Best to Kill, which is both free kind of soundboards that it was actually quite easy to get a handle on them, and kind of puts you in a good place to create good sounds, which I hope the game has.
So we're kind of progressing to we're really nearly finished our game. We're like 99%. All we need to do is the credits screen. But we had a real fun time making the game, and it was the first game for the both of us. And it was really exciting, you know, experiencing something new, doing all this programming, doing the art and everything for the game, and especially reskinning something made by Atari. Like that's, oh my god!
It was really good.
What got you into the game, or what makes you want to come into the games industry?
For me, I always loved playing games, but I love creating things in general, and I just wanted to create this world that gamers could explore. You know, I wanted to make something that players could interact with, that people could interact with, and feel free to, you know, do whatever the hell they want.
Oh, for me, it's just kind of the stories of all the games, because like the games like The Last of Us and stuff like that. So it's just such deep stories that kind of gets you into it, and that's what really brought me into this kind of game.
This is our game. This is Tumbly's Quest. It's a game based on Donkey Kong. It's a remake of Donkey Kong. because at the start of the year we were all given old games that we had to remake, and we got Donkey Kong. So for the last 12 weeks we've been designing and creating this on Construct 2.
Yeah, basically we decided to kind of change the concept of the game. So Donkey Kong is a game where you're trying to stop a really big gorilla, and you play as Mario, but this time we're having it switched around. You're trying to take that, you're actually playing as the gorillas, except you're playing as a baby gorilla, and you're trying to stop poachers, and you're trying to save your father, who's a big gorilla.
Liam is the one who handled most of the mechanics for the game, and me and Hugh did most of the art majority of the art.
There are 2 levels. Originally the second level was the first level, but as we play tested it, we found out people found that level more difficult, so we switched it to make it the last level.
And we also made the poachers and the bosses, so you have to shoot tangerines at them to defeat them. And so there's a poacher per level at the moment.
You also, at the start of the game, have a small comic featuring what happens before the game, just telling the game's story.
And there will be a small comic at the end of the game, kind of as a celebratory, you did it sort of thing.
Yeah. And yeah.
So one for you, Diet.
You could do one. You put that in. You have 3 lives to complete each level, and the lives carry over, so if you lose 1 life in the first level, you'll have 2 lives going into the second level.
And there's a lot of vine climbing.
Yeah. A lot of vine.
A lot of vine climbing. Oh my god. I could just...
So this is our game, Joust. It's based off the 1982 arcade game. And it was originally about a knight and an ostrich trying to fight through waves of vultures. And we tried to do that, but the enemy AI didn't really work. So we just made it into a 2-player, player versus player game.
And then for the art style we went with, because we can't draw, so we made it look as shit as possible, but on purpose.
Because other people were doing like pixel art or other things because they couldn't draw, but we said, why not just make it really, really bad and make that the point of it? So we did that, and we ended up getting bad drawings, and then we ripped out paper and scanned that in to make it look like they were ripped out pieces of paper on top of a copybook with pencil. We made Joust in Construct 2. We were originally going to use GameStyle because I had experience in it, but then free trial it just made things a lot more awkward, so we decided to use in Construct. Keen did all the programming in Construct, and I did the art and the sound.
Exactly, because I would make it look shitter than shit.
It took us around 10 weeks to make. At first, we really lagged behind.
Yeah, because we spent ages trying to figure out what to do, and we didn't actually do anything.
Yeah, and so then when it came to like deadlines, we really had to pick up the pace.
Like the first week, we had to submit a video, and it was just clear jumping around the screen because we didn't have anything.
Have any art or sound or anything. I chose game design because as a kid I was always coming up with different like game ideas and levels and stuff and playing them. So I decided why not make it an actual career.
I've been working on this game for the last 12 weeks, and it's our very first game that we've made together. It's a reskin of the game Adventure for the Atari, and Sir's been working on the mechanics for the game, and I've been doing the art for it. It's been quite a challenge for the last couple of weeks, kind of, you know, working on our very first kind of quite large technical project, you know, at the state we're in right now. And I think it's quite an accomplishment for like a first time kind of game designers, wouldn't you say? I mean, the mechanics for this was quite difficult, wasn't it?
It was kind of tricky with the platform we were using. There were some challenges regarding a player moving from room to room and stuff. But other than that, not too challenging.
Yeah, game style doesn't.
It was my first game anyway.
Because game style doesn't really like facilitate that kind of room to room movement either.
Not very well.
No. Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know, I can't speak for you, but like I personally got into kind of game design because the games just make me so happy and just give me a real perspective about how I feel about certain things. The interactivity really affects how narrative affects me personally, and like narrative is really what I'm extremely interested in. And things that just affect people, like horror, things like that, really interest me. And I just thought that it's so fantastic for there to be a medium that affects people so heavily that it really kind of overcomes a lot of other mediums in a lot of aspects. And I really just think there's something really magical about games that can't really be reached by any other medium like film or books or anything else like that. And I just thought, like, I have to be part of this. It's also one of the very few things I can do. Well.
I think I've known since I was about 10 that I wanted to make video games. They've always been a very strong area of interest for me. They were just my way of just escaping. Like, I get very, very anxious, when I'm around people, generally. So, at the end of a day where I've been surrounded by people, to play a video game is just my way of de-stressing. And I really wanted to get into the industry because I wanted to make people happy. There's lots of different ways of doing that. Games are kind of bizarre like that, because there's so many different kinds of games and they all do that different ways. The strangest one is probably horror, but in the end result is that they make people happy. So I wanted to do that.
Good, that was good. I had nothing to go for there. The most important part of any video game is how many polygons there are. And the more the better. Ideally, you should have so many polygons that you have 1 frame per second. Every second.
Okay, 1 frame per second is enough.
Okay, that's a good one. You should keep that one. Sorry, I keep laughing and moving. Am I back?
Yeah.
I'm back.
No, we're open all the time, so wherever you feel inspiration.
Okay. A good video game is like a strong mocha. Just way too sweet. Way too sweet. The best part of the video game we've been working on is definitely the mustache. About 4 years R&D went into that mustache. Pixel art is a process where you pretend you can make art, but you can't. Not Games are like wallpaper. You know, they look good for a few years, but then once you try and get rid of them, Jesus, they're messy. A good interview about video games is hard to come by, and you're not going to find one here. Whenever you let me know.
It's recording.
Okay. So, the game I'm working on here is a remake of a classic game from an episode of The Simpsons called the Carvalho's Pudding Challenge. So we've dressed it up for the modern age. So this is the Carvalho's Pro Tour 2015, and we're working on it for about 8 years. It's really good. It's really good.